Hi guys, welcome back to more Making My Brother Play Otome games. It's been a really long time since we last recorded, so I'm trying to remember what all happened.
And we should remember to introduce ourselves.
Oh, I'm Kaylin.
I'm Nathan.
We're terrible at this.
We're terrible at this.
Last time, the Shinsengumi split off a little bit.
Yes, we had
Heisuke and Saito.
Heisuke and Saito went off with gay eyes. No, I can't remember his name. I just remember that you and Amanda called him Gay Eyes.
Yeah,
Totally...
It's wrong. I'm sorry.
Wrong.
His name is Ito. Yeah.
Ito?
Yep.
Ito.
Anyway, so they went off with him.
Yep.
And
then we had a creepy demon princess and her
she's not
demon
that creepy.
handmaiden.
But yeah. Yep.
Assassin lady.
Uh-huh.
Who told us that we're a demon
Yep.
and that we should just come with her, and we decided not to, or I decided not to.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to regret that decision, most likely. But we'll find out.
It'll be alright. Probably. Maybe.
So we carry on from where we left off. And this is your line.
Oh, I think I read it at the end of the last episode, though, so it's probably fine.
You should read it again, because we can.
Right. Thank you, all of you, for letting me stay. Sen took my hands in hers and let her eyes rest on mine.
Crap, I still gotta do this one.
Get prepared to do more of it, because there's probably going to be more of it.
Alright, here we go. I think I can do this one today.
Good luck.
Do be careful, and remember, I'm on your side.
Thank you, Sen. She gave me one last warm smile, and then Sen and Kimigiku were gone.
Okay, one last line of that and we're done. Thank goodness.
Once again, sleep refused to come. My mind worked furiously, turning over everything Sen had told me, examining it from every angle. I was a demon. Not only that, but I was the head of a pure-blooded demon clan that had been nearly destroyed, and my heritage was the reason Kazuma had developed such an interest in me. He wants you to have his babies.
Have his babies.
Gosh.
Babies! At the babies!
They're babies! Gosh. I decided to stay with the Shinsengumi, but was that really the best idea? Should I have left instead? I'd wanted to stay, of course, and I didn't really think leaving was a reasonable choice, but what if I'd made a mistake? It wasn't an easy question to answer. The relentless flow of thought had at last begun to subside when I heard noise erupt from outside.
And specifically, you could really kind of tell that was a swords clashing.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, no, let's not get into that
Let's not get into details, no. Roars and shouts of battle accompanied by the sound of steel against steel echoed through the night.
Okay, fine. She did.
There it is.
She did mention it. Okay. All right. I'm sorry for bothering you so late, but this is an emergency.
There was someone just outside my door. Shimada? Yes? The word was barely out of my mouth when the door snapped open and Shimada stepped into my room. His eyes darted back and forth nervously, and his body was tense. Has something happened? He nodded.
The demons have attacked us here.
Well, that was fast. What? I leapt for the door, but he threw out an arm to stop me, and his eyes met mine.
They're after you, which means you need to stay here. No? I think that means I should run.
But... I was the reason they'd come here. How could I justify sitting on my hands while others fought my battles for me? I didn't know what to do.
I've kind of been the person...
You've kind of been the go-getter.
Full of gall here.
I have to go, Shimada.
I can't let you do that.
Those demons are here for me. If anyone gets hurt, maybe they'll listen to me. That's why they're here, right? What if I can convince them to leave peacefully? Please, I'm begging you, let me go. Shimada's brow furrowed and his mouth drew into a tight line, but at last he sighed and shook his head.
Fine. I was told to protect you, though. So if you're going, then so am I. Oh, crap. I'm gonna get Shimada killed.
I'm gonna get him killed.
And I'm going to feel bad about it.
He's a good guy.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Maybe I will.
We ran out of the house, and then I paused momentarily, unsure
Maybe
of
I
where to go.
won't.
The world may never know.
This word!
One moment Shimada was there, and the next he wasn't. He flew several yards through the air and then landed hard on the ground, slid another few feet, and lay still. Shimada? I froze.
Just where do you think you're going?
I'm trying to think of what voice that reminds me of that you do for him. I'll think of it. That cold, flat voice. Chikage Kazuma? In the same instant that I recognized his voice, I felt his arm snake around my neck, pulling me toward him. Ugh! I struggled, but his grip was immovable as steel. Let me go!
What sort of business do you have with the false demons,
His voice was like a cold breath in my ear, and I could almost hear a sneer in his tone.
No matter how much you give to these humans, they will betray you. You've seen those abominations they've created, haven't you? What could you possibly hope to gain from them?
I was at a loss for words. The creation of the Furies was hardly something I approved of, but I wasn't part of the Shinsengumi. What right did I have to criticize their actions? Especially when the very concoction that allowed them to create their false demons had been created by my father.
Breaking into our headquarters, huh? Takes balls, but that fun's over now, pal. Hey, let her go.
Hijikata! Harda! Behind them I could see Yamazaki and several of the other Shinsengumi soldiers. Some men were missing, though. Had they been injured by the demons? Perhaps even killed?
You fools have no idea of her worth. She is most valuable when used by a fitting partner. Used by a fitting partner. Apparently we're just a thing for use.
Great.
That's not... Yeah.
It's not degrading at all.
If you're that into her, then just bring her flowers and stuff like a normal guy. This stuff is just creepy.
The Shinsengumi had surrounded Kazuma by now, but his grip on me hadn't wavered for even a moment.
She's worthless to you as a hostage.
You're lying, right? I hope.
I have no intention of using her as such. She is my goal here, not a hostage. The rest of you are simply obstacles.
I thought of what the voice he used for him reminds me of, by the way. And I don't think it's a clip you've seen. But there's a clip from an old animation of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Where, what's his name? Frollo? Looks at the baby on the porch. And in this really terrible moment of voice acting says, I think I'll adopt it and take it with me.
Okay.
And it sounds like the voice he used for Kazuma, which is funny because I've made that comparison before. Okay, so the ring of men around him began to draw in. I could feel the tension build like a rope being pulled taut. Soon it would reach its breaking point. What was I going to do?
I'm trying to be a badass here, so I'm gonna let this guy have it.
Dude. Kazuma had a good hold on me from behind, but he hadn't bothered to restrain my arms. Perhaps he simply thought that there was nothing I could do, or that I wouldn't dare to attack him. Or perhaps he thought that even if I did, he'd have no difficulty dealing with my attacks. I wasn't foolish enough to think that I might actually beat him in a fight, but at least I could try and defend myself. I let the Shinsengumi deal with my problems on their own long enough. Yeah! I jerked my kodachi out of its scabbard and swung it at him. Before it could even reach him, Kazuma's hand shot out to grab my sword arm, stopping me as surely as if I'd hit a wall. His hand slid to my wrist, and he twisted viciously. It was strong enough that I thought for a moment my bones would break. With a cry, my sword flew from my fingers.
Pointless. You thought you could actually hit me? No, but I will! What?
My aborted attack had distracted Kazuma for only a split second, but that was all the time Hijikata needed. Within the space of a breath, he closed the distance between himself and my captor, and the tip of his blade leaping toward Kazuma's throat.
Damn it!
Almost too quickly to see, he leaned out of the way. Hijikata's blade hissed through the air centimeters from his neck. A lesser man, a human, would have been dead, and so, for a moment, Kazuma's demon strength and reflexes were focused on the sword at his throat. At this throat. Nice. That moment was enough time for me to break free. Ah! I felt a gentle, powerful arm curl around my body, catching and sheltering me at the same time. Hijikata? Poster boy?
Thought you were supposed to stay in your room. You're a real pain, kid.
I know, I'm sorry.
Still, you did good.
I don't remember if this actually gets a point with him. What?
Wouldn't have had that opening without you. Good job.
Praise from Hijikata was not something I was accustomed to. I opened my mouth to say I wasn't sure what, when...
The girl is mine. I will not give her to a mere human.
Wow. Kazuma had recovered quickly from the attack, and his eyes smoldered with cold fury.
Sorry, but I can't give her to you. The Shinsengumi is responsible for her now. We gave our word, no going back.
I felt his grip on me tighten as he spoke.
Naomi, you know you're a demon, yes? Then come join me.
No, I'll never join you. I'm staying here. Now, please leave.
You would choose a simple human, then. Ah, too bad, Kazuma. It's like you got dumped.
I hadn't even noticed Shironwe appear, but behind him I could see the Fury Corps. Yeah, Fury Corps, ready for battle. At their head was Sonnen.
There you are. The Fury Corps will be your opponent. This is an excellent chance for you to witness our tremendous strength. Boy, that's the creepiest look he's had on his face since we met him.
For a while, yeah.
These men are fresh, ready to fight. What would you do?
Amagiri, too, had betrayed no hint of his presence until he simply appeared.
So, they could have a whole army of these chumps and they wouldn't be a match for us. I say we take them apart.
His tongue flickered over his lips and his grin was almost hungry. Oh.
Yes, do. Show us just how superior you are. This is a farce. We retreat.
Ah, boring. With no further deliberation, they leapt over the wall to the street and were gone. The Shinsengumi did not pursue them. My body sagged with relief as the terrified energy of the last few minutes quickly ebbed away.
Alright, won't see them again tonight. Wouldn't be so sure about that, but okay. Go with that.
The warmth of his arm lingered for a few moments after he'd let go of me. Hijikata? Thank you.
Hey, what's the status of the injured?
Oh. The moment he'd let go, he turned away to deal with his men. He hadn't even heard me. His face was cold and hard, the face of the demon of the Shinsengumi. As the last of his warmth left me, I shivered in the cold night air. Oh, I didn't even get a point with him. Huh. It seemed like morning came altogether too early. I sighed, splashed my face with cold water to clear my wits, and headed for the common room. The captains and several of the other men were already there, including Inoue and Yamazaki. Good morning. They nodded or mumbled to return greetings, but their faces were universally dour after last night's events. I heard Inoue and Yamazaki mention Shimada's name, and edged over to listen in on their conversation.
How is he doing? The hit knocked him out, but aside from some bruises, he seems to be fine. He'll be back on duty soon.
I'm glad he's okay. I sighed with relief and felt some of the tension leave my neck. If Shimada had been seriously hurt guarding me...
I should have you know that
Are you looking over at the picture of Yamazaki?
Handsome Yamazaki there on the right.
He's on
We
on my
happen
calendar.
to have a calendar picture of his sexy self over here.
Yeah, it's the calendar from the new game, which comes out in English in May, I think? June? Something like that. Yep, there you go. Where Yamazaki actually gets his own route.
Boy.
Uh-huh.
Well, he does seem like a handsome young devil.
Sure.
Anyways. Oh, Naomi. Shimada wanted to apologize to you for not doing a better job.
What? I'm the one who should be apologizing to him. I felt the conversation in the room ebb and turned to see Kondo walk through the door. He was... He was unusually calm. He was usually calm and collected, but today his face was especially stern. Something was wrong, but what?
Uh-oh. What's happened? You've got a scary enough face to begin with, Kondo. Now you're just terrifying. Look, you're even scaring her.
No, I'm not scared. I waved my hands desperately and the men laughed.
Sorry about that.
He gave me a tight grin, but then looked down, his face grim. Please, just tell us what happened. Is it bad?
Well, you'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
He wasn't just talking to me anymore. The rest of the men moved closer to hear what he had to say.
Oh boy. Nishi Hongwanji?
Yep.
Doesn't want the Shinsengumi here anymore. They're telling us to leave, you mean? Well, they didn't say that in so many words, but yes.
They implied it.
I had a feeling this day would come eventually. But now that it's here, what should we do?
The monks at the Nishihonwanji temple were imperialists and allies of the Choshu. They'd never been fond of the Shinsengumi, but we decided to force our way into the temple anyway. It was no surprise they wanted us out, but I'd finally begun to feel like the temple was my home. On a more practical level as well, it was far more convenient for our work in Kyoto. I was sure I wasn't the only one who felt that way.
Still, this is awfully sudden. You think last night's incident triggered this?
Well, I can't imagine they were happy.
I don't have to think. I know. They don't want fighting on the temple grounds. I'm sure someone else has a hand in this too. Choshu, maybe. Or Satsuma.
The fight the night before had only happened because of me. I'm sorry. This is all my fault.
Not true. We came to this temple and forced them to yield to our admittedly unreasonable demands. But what are we going to do? If we have to move, then we need to start looking for a new location. Actually, we don't. We'll be provided with a new site, courtesy of the Nishi Hongwanji Temple.
We want you out so bad, we'll tell you where to go.
That's awfully generous. You must really want us gone. Yes, on both counts. Which is why I decided to accept their offer. Things are going to get busy around here soon.
Sorry about the noise, by the way, if you can hear any of that. The dog's playing upstairs. A plot of land was purchased and a new compound built, all paid for by the Nishi Hongwanji Temple. It became the third headquarters of the Shinsengumi. The Fududo village location? I don't know that I've ever said that out loud. Anyway, I think that's how I pronounce it.
Well, we'll have to look up the hiragana later and
Yeah.
attempt to pronounce that. Fududo.
I guess, yeah. By the time summer came, the Shinsengumi had left Nishi Hongwanji, where they'd spent more than 2 years. Goodbye to another home.
November 1867. See, the other game we're sitting there on Clannad, we're sitting here trying
Yeah,
to...
we've passed, I think, 2 days in
Yeah.
Clannad now.
And this just sits here and it's like, chunk! 6 months later.
Yeah. A gust of wind stripped some of the last stubborn leaves from the trees and sent them skittering across the Kyoto street.
The last leaves.
The last leaves of autumn. It was cold and bit into me through my clothes.
The grasshoppers
I
are
shivered.
coming. Sorry.
Oh, boy. It's almost winter, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind's gotten pretty cold lately. Still, we don't have it too bad during the day. Can't imagine how cold it gets for the night, guys.
It was November, and the temperature was definitely dropping, although it had yet to get cold enough for us to see our breath during patrol.
Your hand's cold. Would you like me to hold them? Oh, Harada, you cheeky devil.
I'm not that cold. I'll be fine. Oh? I noticed someone walking toward us. Who's that?
Clop, clop, clop. It's Shin!
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Naomi! Sano! What do you think you're doing? You're supposed to be working, not screwing off and hitting on poor defenseless girls on the street. Hey, not everybody's a...
Gigolo.
Gigolo?
Have you heard that word before?
I've heard it before, I've never actually seen it spelled out. Hey, not everybody's a gigolo like you. She looked cold. I'm just trying to be a gentleman.
Oh, he... Oh, he. Okay, I get it.
Oh,
Hello, Nagakura. Nagakura's patrol took him on a different route than ours. It was only luck that we'd happened to meet in one of the few places they overlapped. Their bickering might have looked odd to passerby, but I knew at first sight of the deep friendship that it was.
Hmm? What's up? Why are you grinning like that? Probably thinks your face is funny, Shinpachi. You really ought to do something about that thing.
No, it's just, well, I was remembering when we met up like this before. Last time, like the time I met Kaoru. I was with Okita and Hesuke then, though. Oh. More than 6 months had passed since Saito and Hesuke had left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Hard and Shinpachi's faces turned grim as I trailed off. I shook my head, hoping vainly to cast off unpleasant thoughts. I just mean there's been so much going on lately. It makes me nostalgic.
Shinsengumi has changed. Hell, so has the rest of the world.
Yes, like the shogunate handing power over to the imperial court. Nagakura nodded as I spoke, with the air of a pleased teacher encouraging a student.
Yes, very good. Now, do you know how the loss of Ito and his followers affected the Shinsengumi?
It's interesting that they have this dialogue with Nagakura, because everything we know about the Shinsengumi is because of Nagakura's memoirs.
Yes.
Yep. Well, we have fewer members now.
You're half right. True. We have lost some of our men. Those who were staunch imperialists were the first to leave. That meant that most of the guys who stayed were loyalists. Not all of them, though. Yeah. You remember when Kondo got promoted into direct service to the shogun? And we all became shogunate vassals? Not everybody was happy about that.
That was right around the time we moved to Fudo... Hang on. They spelled it differently here than they did in the previous thing, so maybe it's Fudodo.
Fudodo?
Instead of Fududo.
Fududo?
I don't know.
Fududo, Fudodo, Fatata,
I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Anyway.
Probably not.
That's around the time we moved to that place.
Moved to that place, that village.
Several more men had wanted to leave. Some of them had been given permission to go, but others were told that wasn't an option, and were forced into the Fury Corps.
Ooh.
Yikes. Kondo's promotion had changed the Shinsengumi's relationship with the Shogun. Where before we'd only been philosophically aligned with the Shogun, now we answered directly to him. For some people, that was a serious problem. How do you guys feel about being vassals of the Shogun?
I'm not really a fan. Yeah, I didn't do all this work just so I could be a retainer for the Shogun.
Neither of them was very happy with it then, Nagakura especially. We kept walking for a few blocks, talking about this and that, before Harada yawned quietly.
Your droning is putting me to sleep, Shinpachi. You can tell him to shut up too if he's boring you, you know.
Oh no, I'm fine. I like listening to Nagakura talk about things.
You see, Sano? She's a good girl, unlike you. Now shall we continue?
Yeah, Sano's not a good girl.
What do you know about the Meiji Emperor's ascension to 2 months ago, and the restoration of imperial rule last month?
The encyclopedia has been updated.
That's my line.
Well, the restoration was when Tokugawa shogunate returned power over the government to the emperor, right? I don't really know much about it.
Well, you know enough. That's pretty much it. A man named Ryoma Sakamoto from the Tosa domain was the one who figured out a way for the emperor to regain power without destroying the shogunate.
Ryoma Sakamoto also has his own route in the new game, apparently. So I've heard. Unfortunately, Nagakura continued. In doing so, he managed to anger both the loyalist and imperialist factions, and earn the enmity of both.
At any rate, the restoration means that Tokugawa has lost all real authority. At least, that's the official story. In reality, he's keeping a lot of his power. The government just can't function without someone to hold the reins. The Satsuma are up to something too, but we don't know what. Still, the world's not going to change overnight.
I see. As I looked around the city, it seemed like he had a point. Nothing much seemed to have changed. Inns were still bustling with travelers, tea shops were still smelling delicious. Life continued just as it always had, regardless of what the shogun was or wasn't doing. The city might look the same as it always had, but time flowed on regardless, and a great wave was coming that would carry us all away. I looked up at Nagakura, and something occurred to me that I hadn't thought of before. Before I realized what I was doing, I'd already opened my mouth. I didn't realize you were so smart, Nagakura. You know a lot about politics.
You're not a moron!
Oh, we made him cry.
Wait, what did you think of me? We thought you were a bit of a dunce. Which, honestly, I don't think is wrong, but...
There was a man named Ryoma Sakamoto. We just heard about him. He is a Ronin from the Tosu domain, and had allied himself with the Satsuma and Choshu domains as well. For a time, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner Mimawari Gumi, and even the Shinsengumi were desperate to find him.
I'm glad you can just roll these things off your tongue, because I sure can't. The encyclopedia has been updated.
After his orchestration of the restoration of imperial rule, however, orders were passed down to leave him alone. I only had a general idea of who he was and what he'd done, but even I'd figured out that he was an important person, so when I heard Inoue mentioned him, I listened.
Ryoma Sakamoto has been assassinated.
Well, that was fast.
That was abrupt. You serious, Gen? Do they know who did it? Sakamoto had a lot of enemies. Could have been imperialists or loyalists. Hell, could have just been personal, in which case my money's on Miura or Kishu.
Of Kishu.
Of Kishu. You think maybe they're looking at us for it? Damn, if the bastard was gonna get killed anyways, I should have done him.
Someone's gonna get killed, and better be me.
That's not very funny coming from you. In fact, weren't we specifically told to leave him alone?
I'd never met Sakamoto. I barely knew who he was. But I felt somehow that his death would shake the country to its core. Inoue frowned.
As you all know, there was a decision made far above us, and Kondo was ordered to leave Ryoma Sakamoto alone. Fortunately, the rest of the country is unlikely to see it that way. Scabbard belonging to the member of the Shinsengumi was found at the scene of his death. There has been a request for an official inquiry.
A scabbard? Is that really enough evidence? It'd be pretty sloppy for a murderer to leave their scabbard behind, right?
If it isn't, I'm sure they'll just fabricate more. It's obviously a ruse. Who are they saying it belonged to anyway? Actually, they say it was yours, Harada.
What? Of all the people to try and frame for murder, Harada?
Yeah, the guy who's known for using a spear?
Yeah, the guy who's known for using a spear.
Really? Sano? Damn, wish you'd brought me with you. Knock it off, Okita. Besides, my scabbard's right here. This is idiotic.
He threw up his hands in exasperation. Inoue smiled faintly and nodded.
I don't suspect you, and neither does anyone else here. Fortunately, I doubt the rest of the nation will extend you the same courtesy. Imagine they're having trouble determining the real culprit. There was talk that Kyutaro Miura from Kishu asked the Shinsengumi to kill Ryoma.
That's the same guy that, yeah, Miura, that was the man Nagakura had mentioned. He had some sort of a personal quarrel with Sakamoto, which made him a suspect.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd love to pin this one on the Shinsengumi, but unless someone did it and lied about it, there's no way it was us. Unless Sennin decided to do a little work off the books.
The room fell silent.
How is Sanan these days? My reputation is grisly enough, but the rumors I've been hearing about the night patrol are even worse.
Or ever worse. It was true that Sana had been acting stranger and stranger. Though I didn't want to believe it, I had to admit it wasn't that difficult to imagine him doing something like that.
And we are out of time.
We're out of time.
So we are going to have
We're going
to
to continue
end
this
off
discussion
on
of
this little
suspicion of
cliffhanger.
murder. Yep.
We're going to have to find out who killed the guy next time.
Who done it?
Who done it?
We'll find out. Bye.
Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard.
With
With a candlestick.
Bye, guys.